This is game 1 in a best of 5 between Mo and Rubenstock. Mo-tastic is a player who was 103rd ranked in this tourney signup. Is not even close to the heights of Rubenstock, as Rubenstock's current seed is probably pretty low. He probably could have reached about 25th if he was active. But anyways, long story short, this 103rd seed beat the 19th seed or 18th seed in the first round, 2-0. And that was the upset so far of the tournament, and he makes it here. He's playing as the Malians. In the blue, we have Sicilians for Rubenstock, a very well-known player known for his TC dropping. And he actually has the only civilization that builds TCs way faster. And he finds himself on the far side of the map right here. What does the seed number mean? It is their rank based on signups. And the way we determined the seed is their current 1v1 rating combined with their, or averaged out with their highest 1v1 rating ever achieved. So for Mo, I think his current 1v1 rating is like 1700 or something. And Rubenstock's is like 2k3. So there's a really big gap, and I could be wrong on Mo, but there's a really big gap between the top 30, top 40, even top 50, and the rest of the people in the world. So what's interesting about the start here for Rubenstock is, oh no, he has docked, excuse me. He is docked way down here in the south. And then Motastic is on the other side of the map. So on Nomad, you're oftentimes talking about fighting for water. We will likely not see a whole lot of water aggression unless they figure that out and add more docks. As far as TC positions go, they're both fairly solid. I would personally prefer... Well, there's really no difference. I think I would prefer to have reds because I like to have back resources just in case. Whereas Rubenstock doesn't have a lot to fall back to. But honestly, it's not going to be the end of the world. I think I will be casting it for YouTube, so I don't want to spoil it too much. But Rubenstock did have kind of a rough ride in game 1 of his first round. And he was Spanish, and let's just say some crazy stuff happened in that game. And then that will be on YouTube. I will cast that one. That's going to be a Games of the Week stream, probably on Wednesday. Because I'm going to get back to doing that after being sick for a bit. The other thing to mention about Rubenstock's set is that he played on Mired in game number 2. And he killed 4 villagers from the enemy by using his horse to block villagers as they were bringing in boars. To the point where the enemy just said stop. And then Rubenstock laughed. And then Rubenstock won. So, that was a player that was around 1900 elo named Reddy. But Reddy did give Rubenstock a fight, let's put it that way. I'm just curious how Mimi we're going to see Rubenstock play. Because normally when you think Rubenstock, you think off-meta stuff. But you're going to have to play some meta here, as he is already behind a little bit. That's simply down to that start with the Malians being so crisp. It does look like Malians will be the civilization we will not see in the remainder of the tournament. We'll have to tally it up after the weekend concludes. But Spanish was already removed. There will be no more Spanish for the remainder of this tourney now, because that was the most played civilization in the first round. And then, so far from what I've seen, the most played civilization has been Malians. Now, it is possible we could have a tie. So I could see Malians and Persians tying, possibly. And if they tie, we do a coin flip. I don't know if Crazini's going to do a real coin flip or a virtual coin flip, but I could see after the next couple rounds us having no Spanish, Malians, Persians, and I'm not sure what 4th civ will happen because we only do four bans from 4 rounds. I'm not too sure. Maybe Japanese or something, but in the later stages, the civs are definitely going to be spiced up. Maybe Lithuanians. I don't know. And we didn't want to remove all the good civs. You still want good civs to be out there, but we also want there to be some different strategies. And we don't want players to go for the same things every time. Crazini's Danish. I don't think he has any real coins. True, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how Danish currency works, my friend. That's probably a joke for people who understand it, but I really don't. So all I know is I absolutely hate it. When I was using euros in Europe, I absolutely hated having coins that were worth as much as they were. I understand it, but as an American, I'm very used to like the $1 bill. right? And then anything below that is a quarter. Or was it euros or was it the UK? Maybe both. But anyways, it bothered me because I remember just tossing away some coins at one point, and my dad was like, "What did you throw out?" I was like, "I just threw away my change." I was 18, like an idiot, foreign country, just throwing away money. What a spoiled brat! And he got really upset with me because he had given me the money, and then I learned a very valuable lesson that day. Don't throw away money. Okay, hey, don't lose your villager, Rubenstock. Oh, he loses the villain. The boar could run back. And, oh, my God. Wait a second. He'll save this. Yeah, he's fine. But Rubenstock, game 1, loses a villager. Yeah, I've since been to Europe, of course, and I've learned the currency a bit more. But I have to say, Rubenstock's build has looked very poor compared to Mo. Checking Mo's scouting, he doesn't seem to know where the enemy has docked. But he'll have 2 docks over here, and there's plenty of fish. It's not awful for Rubenstock right now if he adds a second dock. But I have no clue what his plan is right now. I guess he's going to gold. Guys, look at the amount on wood for both players. Bo5 says, I've got enough food with Malians. I don't need to do anything else. So we'll keep our villagers off of food. Send everything else to wood and gold so we can win the water. T90's the best caster. He's like Forrest Gump with all those histories. Is that really the compliment you're going to give me? Listen, Forrest Gump is a legend, but really? Can you give me something a lot more, what's the word? I don't want to say cooler. I feel like Forrest Gump is not the best of compliments I've ever received. Let's leave it at that, all right? Look over here at Rubenstock. No, get your T90 Gumps out of chat. Grandpa Simpson? Oh, jeez, dude. And to think I stayed online to cast more games for you people. Still no second dock for Rubenstock. He needs to Ruben dock it right now. His fish is getting inefficient, but on the bright side for him, his fish are safe right now. So Mo is investing into a lot of fire galleys, and he has a very, very long distance to travel. And so Rubenstock's approach probably stems back to the fact that he recognizes his fish should be safe there. Looks like he did a lot of scouting with sheep on the shoreline and didn't find anything. And so he might go fast castle here. It looks like it, actually. We'll just need 1 more gold. Has his blacksmith on the other side of the map. Now has the market. There we go. So this is not a bad approach for Mo, but he just has no clue where the opponent's dock is. But with Malians, because your wood buildings are discounted, you can just go blacksmith market. You still have your fish. In fact, he's had more fish, and he could still go up to Castle Age. As he's stonewalling this. I love this play. He knows Rubenstock's reputation is doing crazy stuff. Now here comes Rubenstock into the darkness. I think he lost a sheep here earlier, so he must know the opponent's close. And Mo sees the Vill and walls it out. And now Rubenstock has to make a decision because he might assume the opponent is fully walled, which is not correct. Okay, please finish that. Okay. Yeah, it's not correct. He could still run around here. But does he know that? As he's heavy on stone. And Sicilians build castles faster, chat. What is this? Okay, another Vill comes over for Mo. Mo does have a fire on the fish now. This is where it starts to get bad for Rubenstock. The water pressure's paying off for Mo. There goes 1 Vill. And more are following. Mo's not completely walled just yet. And oh god. Oh no, this isn't gonna work. Oh, no way. Rubenstock's running away with these 2 fishing ships, which is really good. He's cutting his losses so he can keep these fishing ships working. Oh no, dude. Don't tell me this is actually gonna work. Rubenstock! How does he get away with this? Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Villagers are just gonna walk through. And the enemy TC is right here. Okay, Rubenstock will know the TC is there now. I think he should have an idea that the TC is right here. Here he comes. You now have no stone to tower this if you're Mo-tastic. And that castle's going up right on the wood line. Oh my god. The audacity of this is just insane. But the thing is, Mo will still make it to the next stage. He is kind of trapped now. That he thought that the walls would be enough, but I'm not so sure now. He's walling here, though, which is really smart. And the eco for Rubenstock is not so good. He is still losing fishing ships. Mo could still win this game. A lot of really solid Nomad players have been underestimated in this tourney. You guys probably heard of Duwitty by now. Duwitty's been underestimated. And Mo was underestimated and made it out of the first round as well. So it's a crazier story. He's 103rd seed here. And he's using the market like a madman, and he's going to add another TC. So he's got a town center on the stone. I really like how he's protected himself. And then Rubenstock just says, okay, I'll TC here. And Rubenstock's forward castle will eventually shoot this down. He is completely safe at home, but he's still heavy on stone. With no water control. His fishing ships are kind of stuck over here. Here's the deal. I think Mo should still win this game. I think Mo still has a very big lead because he still has food income. In fact, if we look at the amount of food income, look what the fish has done. 3,400 food, plenty of wood, and plenty of gold as well. The eco for Mo is significantly stronger. And when Sicilians castle drop you, the castles themselves scare you, but the sergeants don't. So I really don't think that the sergeants are going to be something he should worry about. We now have a donjon behind the wood line. Donjons don't really do that much damage, but it will deny the wood line. And Rubenstock probably is hoping there's not more wood over here for Mo, but obviously there's plenty of it. Where do we go from here? I like the monastery choice. 52 eco versus 34. 4 army versus 0. And Mo almost has double Rubenstock's population. We're really seeing how important having fish is, though. And what I would love to see from Red is a transport ship. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. A transport ship and then a redock. I love redocking. Because right now, this is efficient, but it's going to get less and less efficient over the next couple minutes. Rubenstock buying food right now. He will soon have enough for another castle. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to shoot down this TC. He's going to shoot down this house, and he's going to drop the other castle in and YOLO it right into Red's face. And if you're Red, you need to prep your own castle for that. He's got the villagers on stone already. But you need to prep your own castle for that. And in fact, I would say sell wood, buy stone, and just drop it before he gets in. Because if it's a castle war, Sicilians always win, and there's a chance Red could throw the game. Where's the stable at for Red? Okay, he's got a stable down here. He wants to go for some pressure, so that's where his mind is. And Rubenstock sees that. He has outposts everywhere. He has very good vision on the map. In fact, I don't know if we've seen someone outpost this much. This early? This is really strong. And okay, this is the moment. Oh no! I'm like so anxious because I think Red has done such a good job. Even this is smart. He's going light cav, which is kind of funny. This is all smart, but he needs to know that this is going to come and this is going to hurt, and he could be out of gold soon. Buy your stone. Buy your stone. Drop it now. Drop it now. Drop it now. Oh, God. I think Rubenstock could still place his. With Sicilians, I think Rubenstock could just commit. Let's see. Does he place it here? He does. Red, you need more villagers. You need more villagers. He's not sending any more villagers. He's like, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Oh, no. Mo. It's at 60%. But this is at 60%. This is at 65. This is at 80. He realizes now. No. Tastic. No. Just a few moments in a game can change everything. I think he has to send more vills. You have to at least get it up, right? No. 94%. Rip. Meanwhile, the light cav is attacking, and there's rams. That's exciting, but he has to finish this. Okay, he distracted the castle flyer, which is good. He now will complete his, which is good. But, oh, God, that hurts so much. That hurts so much. And now, of course, his gold's right next to this. So what he really needs is a TC here. Like, he needs access to that gold. And what's so frustrating about this situation for him is that, and there's the TC, is that Rubenstock sees everything. So here come the Rams, and that's going to go in for maybe Rubenstock's TC. And Rubenstock still doesn't really have military, as Rubenstock is massing petards in the forward castle. So it takes 8 petards to take out a full HP castle. Both players are making petards because they realize how important this position is. Red will also have a ram. But it looks like Rubenstock has a head start at least. And man, this is still so stressful and so crazy. Mo is clearly distracted. He's sending in a ram before he has support. Still 4 on food for Rubenstock. Okay, here's the ram. Now, the side benefit of having the petard hit the castle is it might also splash damage the ram. Watch this. Okay, it didn't. Okay, Red, you need to use your petards, or at least have your gather point on your castle set here now. Because when he hits you again, you won't be able to garrison anymore. And okay, 1800 HP versus 700 HP. Rubenstock's castle is not going to go down here. It's a petard race. Honestly, if Red gets one more petard, he can do it. But his petard comes out first! His petard comes out first! Will he save the castle? The Rams go into town. 100 HP. Okay, castle goes down. I feel better for Mo now. Castle goes down. They trade castles. Meanwhile, Motastic is attacking this TC. And he's repairing with the villager. And Rubenstock could lose all of these vills here. He's desperate at the moment. He also is out of resources to repair. The repair villagers clutch from Mo. And just like he surprised Bruh in the first round, he's surprising Rubenstock. And Rubenstock has just simply not respected the guy's talents. Or maybe didn't know about him. That's another big thing. This is insane. And again, Rubenstock has very little food eco. The fishing eco is still working. But here comes Rubenstock with fire galleys. The thing is, the light cav ram approach could work again if there's a little bit more in the way of military. Because he's tossing his light cav right now. I imagine he freaked out when he saw the fires. He's now got donjons attacking him. Guys, he thought there was going to be a castle drop. So he blocked the foundations for castles with gates. Somebody screenshot this. Rubenstock is living in his head rent-free right now with these castle drops. Oh my god. And okay, the Rams are getting pushed back, and now the night arrives, so the villagers need to run. But where's your military, Rubenstock? He doesn't have military. And Red should be able to make... Well, in theory, be able to make enough to defend his fish. Honestly, and it's too late now because Rubenstock is walling it up, but I think Red needs to YOLO vills after this donjon. The donjon is really not that strong. Keep in mind, he's got 19 fishing ships. If he loses those, and then eventually loses access to this gold, this could still be winnable for Rubenstock and bad for Motastic. Who does actually have this gold I keep forgetting about, excuse me. Rubenstock, with his civilization that gets more food on their farms after farm upgrades, is now getting horse collar as he's starting to boom. If you could call it that. I mean, the guy could have even taken this boar, truthfully, but it seems like he just wants castle drops. And as Mo is starting to expand over here, that's all well and good, but like he needs an escape plan for these vills. And he's trying to make a transport, but he doesn't have navy to protect the transport. Oh, the fires have been forgotten over here. That's huge. Okay, so he's going to bring the fires back. It's kind of funny because I think Rubenstock has just remembered he had fish too. And I mean, I'm pumped right now. I don't know if chat's pumped, but I'm pumped. Also, Loic, thank you very much for the sub. I'm still a little getting used to this. So let me describe how this works for me as a streamer. So I think my alerts are bugged right now. I need to get into it with Overlay Guy this week or next week. But on my list of support, right, it'll show stars and it will show when people sub, right? So donations and subs, just like on Twitch. However, I believe it's showing resubs on this Streamlabs list, but not calling it a 1 or 2 month thing. So I don't know if anyone wants to test it right now. I'm not trying to bait subs, but truthfully, I don't know. It says all these people are new subs. I think these people already have been subs. Now, Facebook has a separate alert list, and that shows only what I believe is actually brand new ones. But it's also confusing because I also get a list that says someone's resub for 2 to 3 months. So I don't even know. I just say thank you. Let's put it that way. But anyways, we've got the pressure coming in, and Rubenstock is making a run for it. He's straight up abandoning this area of his eco. And he's... Oh my god! He's going to castle drop here. Which is so unbelievably risky because there's Rams and Lycavan Knights. But the Rams and the Lycavan Knights are over here. And now Rubenstock is running away with this area of his economy. So this castle will go up. Now, do the Rams and the Knights come back to deal with the castle? Like, what do they do? Red's going to run through here. And he's also transporting. We have 2 players transporting away right now. And there we go. Red's going to drop a castle and finally deal with this. Rubenstock's taking a random boar 36 minutes into this game. 2 random boars, excuse me. What's happening? But guys, Rubenstock has realized that if he controls water, that Red could falter here. That Red could struggle. So, all these fishing ships are still exposed. The transport possibility will be gone. They're just swapping sides right now. And here comes Rubenstock with 5 more vills. He is about to get his water upgrades, and he's waiting. He's being patient with his demo. Boom! Oh, what a play! And that means he will potentially win water as more villagers are coming in to maybe drop another castle. This is so hectic, man. This is unbelievable. Tell me Red notices this. He doesn't see it. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Did he see it at all? Okay, for a second. Wait. Not really. Not really. Like, he could have sensed it for a moment, but obviously with Castle on his freaking face and trying to take out this TC, he doesn't notice it, and he doesn't see the vills in his land. So, guys, I think what Red's going to try and do here is he's going to try and castle drop this area because he's thinking this is where Rubenstock is. But Rubenstock is going to castle drop Red's area and might even send all of his vills over here. Okay, he's walling up, probably waiting for his transport. Now, 5 villagers is not a lot, and if it's spotted, this army should deny it. So Rubenstock needs to make sure that this castle is placed perfectly. And wait a second, wait a second. I'm so sorry to keep going back, but you can't make this crap up, dude. Okay, so Red got town patrol, or sorry, town watch. So now he has more vision on his buildings, and this is all he can see. This is what's there, but that's all he can see. I don't know if that's luck from Rubenstock or what. It has to be. Okay, and now Rubenstock's going to make a dungeon here. But I think there's arguments that maybe that should have been a castle. Does anyone have a base right now? Seriously, does anyone have a base right now? Okay, so Red shouldn't be too worried about this because Red could still take this out with Rams and Gibetto. It will probably kill 1 vill, maybe 2 before this goes up. But could at least stop the walls around it. Okay. Kills 2. Kills 3. Kills 4! And there's 1 villager remaining. Yeah, that'll go down. You just rush it down with vills and you're fine. The fishing ships are starting to go down, however. And I feel like Rubenstock, at least, if you know him as a player, he tends to get stronger in these types of situations. But that said, like, as he has got a safe eco here, this is all going to go down in a second. Red just needs to go Ram Knight against this castle, and then all these vills are exposed. These vills are still exposed, even though they're making a dungeon. And I think the 103rd seed is going to win yet another game. Remember, he beat Bruh, a top 20 player from Brazil, in his best of 3. And I think we're going to have an amazing start to this series for Mo again. That said, he's so distracted, he doesn't know where to go. Now he's going to send his units over here. But now his Rams are out of position. Or I guess you could say his Rams are very much in position. Who the heck knows what's happening? So he's got 94 vills. Rubenstock has 55. Surely this is over. Rubenstock hasn't been able to break this guy. And this castle And more knights means that the castle will go down for Rubenstock. This donjon's down. Rubenstock has nothing. He has nothing. Maybe more upgrades on the knights could be helpful. But overall, Red has done a sick job. He's even got a TC over here. I mean, both players actually have great scouting. And after this, Red will realize that he needs to fight back on water, which he'll do. And that he probably needs to push Rubenstock. And all he needs to do to push Rubenstock here is delete his own walls. Rubenstock is not safe. These walls can be deleted. It's a best of 5. So if you underestimate a player and you are the better player, you do have the possibility of bringing it back. But I have to say, like, I don't necessarily think Rubenstock's strategy was bad. And I don't think this strategy is necessarily unique for him. So it could be the theme of the series. Rubenstock goes YOLO. And Motastic has played these situations very, very well. How many castles have we had? 1, 2, 3, and 4 are down. 5, 6, 7. Was there 8 over here? I forget. Sergeants, as much as I'd like for them to be more of the identity for Sicilians, are just a bad unit. They are not very good. There are situations where they're good, to be fair, but they're just not really a good unit in most situations. This would be a time where I could bring up the fact that the devs could have tried to buff the sergeants and make the donjon play more interesting, but instead they gave another Civ Cavalier upgrades. This would be a time where I could maybe say that the devs could have used more creativity, but I am not that type of person, okay? I would never take moments like this to fret about balance. I would never do that, okay? So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Rubenstock probably can't believe this. He's at 69, not so nice population. He will lose one of these positions. He's going to lose this position, or he's going to lose this position. He's going to lose water. It's all going to fall apart for him. If he has a chance, it's got to be an all-in, crazy 1TC castle drop. He's literally stonewalled in a donjon. As it looks like the end of a game you played with your younger cousin, where your younger cousin's trying to hide all of his villagers from you, and you're trying to hunt him down. This does not look like a tournament anymore. Rubenstock is being annoying, but Rubenstock is dead, guys. I'm so glad we stayed on to cast more of these games. I'm so glad to have you guys here. He's getting Bodkin now, which I guess is for his castles and donjons. And we have Red making more petards. Surely Motastic knows he's won this game. So he's going to send a message here. I think what I would like to see him do is just go for this area, though. Like, just go petard ram and just push this area. He's castle dropping this area, which means that Rubenstock won't have any success solidifying control there. Maybe Red forgot that these are his walls. Sometimes that will get you. It almost looks like he's clicked through and he's running through the gate. It doesn't feel like it's hugely necessary. Is Rubenstock trying to go imp right now? I think Rubenstock's trying to go imp. Meanwhile, Red is still making petards. And Red is about to get relic number 3. And Red is all over Rubenstock everywhere you look. Including down here in a moment once the knights come in. Sick. This is a Dave game? How dare you disrespect me? How? I'm sitting here casting a series. I'm actually half kidding. I'm not even full on kidding. Like, I not only introduced Rubenstock to the freaking world of YouTube and have been all over Rubenstock and know the backstory for Motastic. And I'm sitting here casting a game getting hyped. And you're like, oh, this would be a Dave game. Well, thanks, bud. Thank you. I know you didn't mean that in a negative way. But as the petards come in, it's 2 petards for a stone wall. I don't know how many for a donjon. 3? They're actually kind of blocked in there. I mean, that's the definition of unnecessary, let's be honest. But he's so far ahead of Rubenstock, and he knows it. Can go imp with eco to back it up. He drops a castle here, which will deny the other side of Rubenstock's base. If Rubenstock thought that he could castle drop and that he could deny expansion from Motastic, and Motastic said, not today, not tomorrow, not the next day. Well, maybe the next day. There will be a game 2. But Rubenstock's dead. He doesn't have a single resource with more than 20 vills on it. Not a single one. Whereas every single resource except stone has 20 or more on it for red. And red knows it, dude. It looks like a meme game. This is a tourney. This is a 103rd seed flexing on Rubenstock. Look at this. Rubenstock's going imp to maybe make one treb. And Ram Petards will take out his only castle. Now, I am seeing Red's elo in some ways. Obviously, he's very far ahead now and played really well. But higher level players would have used these knights by now, right? Would have maybe spent the resources a little faster. But I don't think it matters. He did everything he needed to do in the early game. And Rubenstock sees this, guys. Rubenstock sees this. He's got houses going up in front of all this, which will just be petarded down. I can't really tell what's going on here myself, but the petards get through! And the castle's down. What does Imp give you now, Rubenstock? The range is getting petarded down. Again, Knights could always back this up at any point in time, but Motastic doesn't care. He's making Geppetto. He's making Siege. He's brought a Monk in here as well. What a statement, man. What a statement. This game has been over for a bit, but this is such a confidence booster for the underdog, and this is definitely a wake-up call for Rubenstock as they hit Imp at the same time. That maybe, just maybe, this guy's serious. The reason he moved past the first round is because he's a good Nomad player. Rubenstock still not calling it. Getting Wheelbarrow, still not calling it. I mean, this is kind of griefing, to be honest. Like, it is game one of a tourney, right? So he's going to try, but dude, you're dead, buddy. You're dead. And he calls it. Chat, I'll be real. The big reason I wanted to cast this is not because I thought Motastic could win, but because Rubenstock is fun to watch. And that was a very fun game, but it gets a whole lot more serious now because Motastic actually took game one from him. And the castle drops were insane, the game was messy, and he was able to figure it out. What a game. Sick, sick, sick. When he got castle dropped, he had the presence of mind to relocate. He's got it 1, 2, I think he had 3, right? 4, 5, and did he have 6 over here? I'm sorry, I forget. But like 6 TCs. And in all different spots. If he lost access to a gold or stone, he just found another one. When he got pressured in one area, he just moved to the next. It was a little sloppy with the initial castle, but he still had the right idea to expect that from Rubenstock. And was a little sloppy on water too, to lose access to his fish. But again, still had the right gameplay and still had the right amount of expansion. You look at the resources and you're probably asking, why wasn't this over sooner? Red just needed to put his foot on the gas, and he did so with petards. Right? He made sure it was without a doubt a victory for him, and then he went in with petards. And had so much more resources. Like, he could have gone all in longswords that castle age. It wouldn't have really mattered. But that's dominance right there. That's dominance. Now, it's also not top-tier Nomad play from Rubenstock. So as we look to the other maps now, which we'll do, I'm very excited for this set. I still think Rubenstock should win. He's that good of a player. I still think he should win this full series. It's a best of 5. But we'll cross off these civs and we'll hop into game number 2, chat. As Rubenstock picked Sicilians pretty high and loses. And Motastic had picked Malians as number 1. Also, I mean, Motastic is from the States, man. So we normally don't have too much to scream and get excited about. I know Daniel's also in this tourney, and he's a serious threat to anyone. But pretty freaking cool to see someone who plays a lot of Nomad and Black Forest team games be able to show their skill set within this tourney. Yeah, I agree with you, Dadgum. Best of 5 definitely makes it more difficult for the underdog. So let's see. Okay, game 2 is on the home map for Rubenstock. He has picked Persians, and welcome to Inundation. Now, I encourage you guys, if you didn't already see the 3 Castles on the Face YouTube video, to watch the 3 Castles on the Face YouTube video, because it was a game here between Mongols and Britons that was very, very entertaining. But like a few of these maps, you do start with a horse. And the big thing I'll point out right now about the horse is that you need to find sheep, which is why a lot of people pick Britons. A lot of the sheep's on the outer ring. You also do have some boars out there. And in the middle, you've got gold and you've got deer. Ash, good morning. I thought you said gold morning, and I'm not even kidding. My mind was on the gold in the middle. I thought you said gold morning. So, Rubenstock kind of went for some crazy meme play in game number 1. Granted, that is Rubenstock. Rubenstock just happens to be able to reach a very high level while doing things like castle drops and TC drops. That's why we love him. However, he has picked Persians, chat. Persian town centers. I can't believe I have to actually explain this right now. But Persian town centers have double the HP of regular town centers. In the event that there would be a town center here from Rubenstock, and he were to garrison it and shoot down the enemy's TC, he would win that TC war. Now, a very important thing to bring up is that Nomad rules is you cannot play a game if the TCs are within range of each other at the start, okay? That is at the start. So, yeah, Rubenstock could have placed his TC here if he scouted this, but then it would be an admin restart. Obviously, no one wants that. That would be really freaking dumb. You also can't Vil War within the first 3 minutes, things like that. So if Rubenstock wants to do this, he will have to have wood to be able to drop the TC. And to be honest with you guys, I think his scouting is super bad. Like, look, he hasn't scouted, and look at Mo. Mo's approach is insane. He's scouting all the sheep. And so while there's deer, the deer are pretty far away from your town center still. Rubenstock has 1 sheep. And maybe about to be 3, as he'll find these. And he will run out to make a lumber camp. But think about it. If you make a lumber camp, you're down to 150 wood. Then you need more villagers on wood. And he's going now. He's going to freaking douche. I can't believe it. Well, he's about to be housed because he forgot to make a house, which is a really rough start. And I think he's going to try and go for a TC drop on a map where I genuinely don't think it's a great strategy. But it also is, like, really complicated to know what to do if you're Motastic and you get TC drop. Yes, this is Ruben's home map. So he picked Persians, and he picked this map. And he's Rubenstock. Guys, I'm telling you, Rubenstock is not looking good. These 2 villagers aren't working yet. He won't have a ton of sheep. Red's going to have like a dozen sheep come back to his base. And wait a second. Where's Rubenstock going with this, Vil? What's happening here? He is scouting around. Okay, he sees the wood line of the enemy. He needs a house, so he might as well place the house here. But you see how you're in this never-ending cycle with your wood? It takes so long to get your wood income if you want to try this. So I think maybe he shouldn't do it. I think it would be a mistake. And now he needs a house, so he's not going to have enough wood for the TC. He's got to place the house. He's placing the house. But he will get there, and he might attempt it, and it might get crazy as you have a villager coming over here from Rubenstock. And that's something Motastic scouted. You can't attack with the horse, but you can escort your sheep, is what he's doing. And we have a barracks for Rubenstock. Okay, so Rubenstock has had the TC drop in my head. It's probably in Mo's head as well, as Mo has 1,000 food underneath the TC. Rubenstock's got like 100. So Rubenstock's strategy is clearly about finding the wood line. Mo is going where with that, Vil? Oh, to make a mill. Ooh. Ooh, I mean, okay, Loom's coming in now, so a Drush wouldn't be all that strong. But still, a few militia could be good. I think Rubenstock's issue now is going to be food, though. I really do. And the reason Mo picked Saracens, I think, guys, is because you're always going to have access to gold. And if you're in feudal age with Saracens, you can just buy all the resources you need. If you watch that 3 castle in the face video, the Mongol player was using the market a lot, as was the Britain player. And I joked and said, Saracens. Pick Saracens for the market. Because you know you're going to have gold. Okay, Mo is paranoid now. I love it. He's paranoid. He thinks there's going to be a TC drop. He doesn't know what that villager's up to. But he really thinks there's going to be a TC drop. And Rubenstock is going to have 3 militia over here. And a horse. And Red, who's on the way to feudal age, could lose some villagers. Rubenstock's whole reputation is built up to this point where Red is trying to block any possible TC foundations. And now the militias show up. And now Motastic's like, no. Rubenstock's like, I am going to be annoying, but just not in the way that you expected me to be annoying. So here he comes in with 2 militia. Good job for Mo to wall in the Vil. That said, he will overforge there. We'll see if he notices that. And honestly, Rubenstock should be blocking these Vils. Like, one of these Vils should die. Yeah, focus. Block with the horse. Yeah, that should be a dead Vil. Probably should have been more than that, to be honest. Of course, I have very high standards for these players and dead Vil. And seeing as I have very high standards for high-level players, you need a palisade here, Mo. You need to think about the fact that you're going to forge through that. Meanwhile, Rubenstock doesn't have the food to be able to go up to the next age yet. And he's flirting with the wood to be able to drop a TC. Guys, I think if he... Oh my god, he's shooting down the house. Or he's shooting down the palisade. I don't know if this is intentional. I think he's still going to do it. I'm telling you, these villagers could die. Motastic needs to keep those vills alive. He's now has a market. He's bought some resources. Rubenstock's doing it! Rubenstock's still doing it! He's in Dark Age, and now Mo starts to crap his pants. He's like, what do I do? Which tells me he probably won't think about this. Here come the villagers. Keep in mind, Rubenstock's going to have a decent amount of villagers on his wood line. Red expected it, and I'm going to use a Rubenstock quote from about 2 years ago when I asked him about this. Because people said, ask Rubenstock how to stop it. And Rubenstock said, and I could pull it up on my Discord right now, don't place buildings in palisades. It always makes the defender look like a fool. That's what he said. Now, as expected, Mo, with a big mistake, loses these villagers. The Eco KD right now, or in a second, is about to be 3-0. And Rubenstock's TC will shoot down Mo's TC. There's no doubt in my mind. And Rubenstock has more vills. So what Mo needs right now is he needs wood for archers, but he also needs wood for a TC, and he doesn't have freaking wood. But he does have gold. Oh my god, guys, I just thought of something. Okay, he just sold his stone here, which is questionable if he needs a new TC. What if he forgets to make a mining camp here? Like, making archers is obviously great. Getting fletching for your archers is also very great. But this could be possible for Rubenstock, as he's just going to mine stone with this villager to get more resources for TCs. And Rubenstock's like, ha! You thought this map was about gold, huh? I've just made this map about wood. This is crazy. Okay, does place the mining camp. Rubenstock will soon have the resources for another TC. And he needs to make a building here or something. That is the perfect spot for Rubenstock. Okay, and he also keeps bringing in villagers to wall in the freaking lumber games. Oh, is Rubenstock actually going to do this? Like, Red full-on expected it, too. We all expected it, and I didn't think it looked good for a bit. Okay, fletching archers. Oh, actually, no fletching yet. Okay, now fletching's coming in. Rubenstock's killing the sheep. He's like, nope, I won't give you the sheep. He's using the vills after the archers. I think he figures the opponent won't have wood to make archers if he continues to do this. Rubenstock is using villagers and militia against feudal age archers. He's still pumping out vills because he still has an economy, and all of Red's villagers are in the middle doing a little dance-off. This is GG. This is incredible. And now he just Vil fights. The number one thing to do with the TC drop is Vil fight, because they can't create more Vils. So they can micro all they want, and you don't even have to have good micro. But you can produce, and Motastic says 11 professional GG and resigns at 17 pop. What the crap did we just watch? That was both the most beautiful game of the tourney and also the most disgusting game of the tourney at the same time. It's stupid, and it's very divisive. Some people are like, this shouldn't be a strategy. Why haven't the devs remove this strategy, which is hilarious to me because it took the devs two years to add spec chat, as if they'd pay attention to the douche. But anyways, why haven't the devs nerfed this strategy? Which is true. It's ridiculous, okay? It's not fun to face up against. Like, clearly when you expect it, the king of TC drops can still do it anyways. But you have to at least appreciate how annoying it is, okay? He killed the sheep, okay? He said, no sheep for you. He walled the lumber camps. He even walled the mill. Anything that he could do to make it less efficient, he did. And he didn't even need the second TC. He could have done it, but he didn't even need the second TC. Red realized that, now with only one archer, that soon his range would be walled in. He has no villagers collecting resources. And that this is pretty much GG. So now Rubenstock ties it up. And now this becomes an interesting series. I honestly feel like both of these games so far are YouTube worthy. In the later stages, we will be uploading the full best of fives when the big names are up against the big names. But I'm trying to decide on who the big name is yet. Like, this was supposed to be a 3-0 for Rubenstock. He's come back with that. Clearly his best civilization. In terms of total resources collected, Red did a lot. But he put 500 food into Feudal Age, and Feudal Age didn't give him much. I think he should have... Like, really what lost Red the game was not inspecting what was going on with that Vill, right? He saw the Vill, and then I don't know where his scout went, actually. But if he spots the Drush, he then just walls in his wood line, and they can keep working. And then I think it's a very different game. And also, this was something he overlooked. But remember, Motastic is a player who's 103rd seed. He doesn't play in a lot of, like, high-stress early-game environments. He plays a lot of Black Force and Nomad. So for that reason, he probably didn't think of that. Holy crap. Okay, anyways. As people are going to have discussions naturally about the Persians, I'm going to give you something else to talk about. And we're going to move on to game number 3. All right. So, can honestly say I've never seen this Civ matchup before on Houseboat. But Houseboat has been my favorite map of the tourney so far. And there's a lot of good reasons we could see both of these Civs, okay? Motastic, starting off here in the red, playing as the Indians, game 3 against the favorite Rubenstock. And from what I have seen that Motastic can very much win this. It's one thing to win the best of 3 against Bro. But I guess if you beat Bro, you can beat Rubenstock, because Bro was seed 20. Still insane. But how insane is Rubenstock going to play? Because he's picked Koreans. Dave had mentioned with my cast with him earlier that there was a time where someone went turtle ships here. And maybe guard towers, right? It does seem like something we could maybe see, but we haven't seen players prioritize that too much over the games. Because truthfully, I think there's better all-around picks for the maps. Indian villagers collect shorefish very quickly, so that bonus already pays off. Not to mention Indian villagers are very cheap. So you can see Mo just keeping 4 on food. Could probably only have 3 on food for now. And slightly housed for him, but he's going to send more and more villagers over here to wood. Not an easy map to play. Definitely takes a lot of multitasking. Players are fairly close together. And standard games normally lead to situations where players will dock. And they will add fishing ships. And then the most common strategy is to forward dock the opponent's water. And then add fire galleys. If you take out their fishing ships, then... their transport ships, their villagers out of the TC are pretty much useless. There could be situations where villagers are stranded on the island and you can't do anything. So you have to fight and fight hard to make sure that you do not lose your water and usually fight for their water as well. Docking on the outer ring or the inner ring, I think largely depends on the fish generation. Like, typically docking the inner ring is better in my opinion because you're able to repair closer to your TC with your vills. So you can add more vills. You don't need to have one villager that's just standing idle by the dock, if that makes sense. Also, I think the fish is always a little closer if you dock next to the TC. But if you dock the outer ring, you can always take one more shorefish. So there's pros and cons to either decision there. But so far, the same build order for both players. Now, most of the Korean bonuses come into play later on, but it is cheaper for them to compete on Navy. I believe that's still the case, right? I think their ships are cheaper. Also, guard tower could be really strong in the Castle H. So if it gets to Castle H, guard tower and turtle ship is probably what you're thinking about with the Koreans. If we're thinking lands, Indians have way more mobility, but it might not turn into that if Rubenstock wants to control the front with towers. I could see that being really strong. Oh, wait a second. Forward villager for Rubenstock. Okay, he scouted the wood line. He scouted the golds. He scouted everything. Why would he send a villager? I know what you guys want, and you're probably thinking barracks, but I think that would probably be a mistake. Because then he'll be down fishing ships, and he already is. Red's on 3 fishing ships. About to be 4, and wait, it is going to be a barracks. Rubenstock plays this game so different from other players. It's unbelievable how Rubenstock can take the same game and make it look like a completely different game. It doesn't even look like Age of Empires anymore. Fast castle into war wagons. See, I still think the best counter to fast castling is forward docking. So I think if you saw fast castle work, I think it is because someone did not go for the correct play of forward docking. If you go forward castle, I think what should probably happen, or not forward castle, fast castles, is that they should dock you, and then by the time you reach Castle Age, all your fish are gone and your transport's gone. Which is not in and of itself GG. You could still drop a castle then, right? If you're thinking wagons, but I think it will be tricky. Okay. So Mo has had some crazy things to deal with in this series. Good job from him to find water buffalo and bring it under the TC now that the shorefish are almost gone. He doesn't see the scout. If I saw the scout there, I would be really confused. And yeah, here comes 2 vills. So what happens when fire galleys show up in Rubenstock's pond? He's spending all of his food, and he doesn't have the food eco to go up to feudal age after this pressure. I think he needs to kill 3 vills to be okay with this. Seems like a lot, but I really think he needs to kill 3 vills to be okay with this. I don't think 3 militia can kill 3 villagers against loomed vills if they're all fighting. It can harass, though. Also, these villagers won't be able to place their dock, so red is very distracted. Most of Rubenstock's strategies just revolve around making the wood efficiency garbage for the opposition. It's working right now. You can't make fire galleys and a dock if you don't have wood. And wow, 2 villagers go down. I have to say that higher level players would have probably dealt with this a little bit better. But Mo is 103rd seed, so he's a bit in the slower side when it comes to reacting there. You're joking, man. He can't afford a fire galley. You're joking. Can Rubenstock see this? Rubenstock can't see the dock. Oh, God, the wood efficiency. I can't believe this. Okay, 1 fire galley. 1. And that's the strat, remember. That's what makes this... that's what should kill Rubenstock's crazy slow feudal age. Let's see. Of course, Rubenstock's still in the Dark Age. He's going out here for hunt. He's on gold. He's going to be on the berries there. He's already on the berries here. And he's docking... Wait a second, what? Okay, now red... Oh, God, not another one. God, okay, I take it back. I take it all back. The way Rubenstock has delayed his opponent with this drush still looks really strong. The worker efficiency's got to be so low. Look, 45% worker efficiency last minute. Because these villagers have not been able to keep working. And it honestly might be a strat against a player who's not known for dealing with early pressure. Again, Mo is not someone who's super high rated in 1v1s. Granted, he's still well within the top ranks of the world. But the big boys clearly are just better at the small stuff in the early stage. Okay, he's got 1 fire galley, and it's done nothing so far. Rubenstock's getting away with this. Rubenstock is getting away with this. And while he still hasn't clicked up, he is able to maybe buy time. Look, Mo freaked out. Mo made a fire galley at home against a Dark Age player because of the stress. This is one of those that if you rewatch, you just are so unhappy with yourself because it seems like such an obvious mistake, right? Like, making a fire galley against a militia is essentially what he did. But Rubenstock is known for making life awkward. And I think it has worked out here. But at the same time, Mo will be okay now. He can take his wood. He's also got wood over here. He can now focus to make more fire galleys on the front. No clue what these two villagers are doing. I guess they need a job. Oh, lumber camp. Okay. He went from not being able to take wood on one lumber camp to not being able to take... to having 3 lumber camps. Rubenstock's fine, guys. If Rubenstock wants to protect his water, he just adds another dock. He's also walking forward here to dock. What? Okay, I don't want to come off as rude here. But this does not feel like round of 64. It's like Rubenstock's games just slow down the game so much and make it so unorthodox. It just doesn't feel like it's the same level we were witnessing earlier today. Oh, man, but the dock does get denied. Rubenstock really needs that dock to go up. Red is going to have 2 fire galleys here. And, okay, Villager's going to chase that down. But I think Rubenstock really needs to have a second dock here. And then he just clears up his water, and then he's completely fine. Now, of course, he can make fire galleys. Okay. So now, like... I don't even know what to think. But I will say this. Have you guys... you guys know how sometimes you have good and bad days in Age of Empires? Like, some days you have a really long work day. You play like crap. And other days you're full of energy and focus and you play good. I find that to be the case with me anyways. So as villagers come out to rush this down, and Rubenstock's going to have archers. I really don't like this tower at all. Because villagers against towers, pretty darn strong. But anywho, as we're going to see this be a problem, I believe, for red. Games like this, like playing players like Rubenstock, can break that focus. They can make it so messy that you have to like stoop down to their level, if that makes sense. And you're unable to do the things you normally want to do, and your brain doesn't work properly, because normally there's a rhythm. You're like, okay, I make vills, I make this army, I do this, but this game has no rhythm. And Rubenstock typically thrives when there's no rhythm and when there's no order. Rubenstock creates the chaos, makes you accept that the chaos will never go away, and play through the chaos. And that's, I mean, Mo is doing a good job here, actually. He's going to drop a tower. He will keep himself protected. He will clear up this dock. He's also still pressuring here. Oh, the transport! The transport! Oh my god, it's on 1 HP! It's on 1 HP! And the villagers were able to get out, and now the villagers are going to repair, and now Mo's like, no, and oh my goodness, there's no repair villas here because they came from this side to build the tower that didn't go up, and now you've got villagers, and now you've got spearmen, and oh, disaster for Mo. I mean, not full-on disaster. He still has 41 eco. What? Hold on, I did not realize that. He's still got a pretty good eco lead, but these villagers are trapped now. Ugh. If you're wondering what's happening right now and you want me to explain, I will try, okay? But odds are I'm not going to do too well, as Rubenstock didn't know the fire was there. Rubenstock didn't know the fire was there. So now he has to make a new freaking transport ship, and all these new villagers are going to be stranded. I think that's the key right now. As long as... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Red saw the archers moving around this way. The tower defense is not pretty, but it's fine. If he has to do that, it's whatever. Okay. So he knows the archers are coming this way. This will be fully walled once the gate completes. Don't open the gate, lady. Okay. Red, take a breather. Build a mill here and take those berries. You need food income, okay? It's full on adapt right now. He's making scouts. Scouts can do a really good job here. But yeah, I think what you need is you need a mill, and you need to take the rhinos. These villagers are going to take that gold, as I guess he's not comfortable taking... Oh, he's almost out of this gold, I guess. Okay. Now, there goes the tower, and Red does not see that tower's going up. He just sees the wall, but he's got Indian scouts, so he's thinking he can clear out the archers. I don't like the position for this engagement. I think it's going to be awkward for him. He should always take the spearman first. I was a little late to taking the spearman, but now he should kill the archer. Okay. Not pretty, though. Not pretty. Wait, he's not killing the archers, actually. Not as successful as he would have wanted that to be. Let's put it that way. You get armor, and then you feel pretty good in that situation. But without armor, man, I'm not so certain. I'll tell you what, guys. There's still a lot of focus on Navy, but Rubenstock has done a better job pressuring the opponent. Red stable is way over here, so he doesn't actually have an answer to this. And what Red has struggled with is getting food income. He's got 5 on food. So there's got to be a recognition to take more food, or at least buy food at this stage. I just think he's so distracted, and I think his brain is broken. Like, Rubenstock has genuinely broke his brain. Again, there's been more villagers for Red, but the worker efficiency is way down. And now he's got to add 1 scout and send it all the way back here, all because he didn't clear that army up. And now it's panic time, and I think Rubenstock is going up towards Castle Age soon. The Drush was the last thing that Mo ever expected. He probably did some practice games with his buddies. Probably practiced against the AI at the very least to practice build orders. Probably watched games. No one has ever drushed on this map. And ever since, Red just cannot deal with it. And I think we're seeing the elo difference. Rubenstock is not spending food on anything except some villagers. He has archers and he has spearmen on the way. They won't break through, though. And that is genuinely going to be an awkward army composition to stop. Now, chat, tell me how you feel. Are you overwhelmed for Red right now? Are you anxious for Red? Because I am. I definitely am. I'm actually, this series has brought me so much anxiety in general. Like, also excitement. But, like, it's so messy. Like, Rubenstock is running right into the fire ships. Okay, that villager could go down now. This still isn't fully walled for Red. He knows the army's moving over here. He could just make towers everywhere. I've never seen a round of 64 set. Or let's just back up. In this tourney, we have not seen a round of 64 set be so messy. Crazy. And it's a close series, too. Like, both are having big efficiency issues. And it's kind of canceling each other out. But as Red has 1,500 gold and still hasn't purchased food to go up to Castle Age, Rubenstock is on the way to Castle Age. He still has army pressure, and he's going to force more reactions from Red. And I think Rubenstock will take the game. At this point, I don't see how Red stops this army. Now he's going to drop the towers. Now he takes the elephant. This is all too late, I think. And this small skirm force is not going to be enough against against the 6 archers that are here. It will buy time for the tower, but now he needs to drop off the food somewhere else. And Rubenstock, when he's in Castle Age, is going to do some turtle ships, I believe, to prepare yourself, okay? Yeah, you're so right. Rubenstock is consistently forcing reactions from Red and putting Red under pressure in unorthodox ways, and Red just does not know how to deal with it. There he goes. I feel like he could have gone Castle Age earlier. I feel like he could have had the walls down, but we're seeing why he's seated where he is, right? So many small things that you have to do in this game, which seems simple when you're used to watching the top 50 play all the time. But yeah, okay, clears that up. Based on the Vil count, this is still doable for Red. Based on the Vil count. Also, Rubenstock reaches Castle Age, getting crossbow, making a stable. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. We're going to see the uniqueness of the Koreans. Red, good job. I wasn't expecting him to remember this. Good job. Okay, so he walls this. So this, unless he mistakenly runs outside, this is going to be protected and walled up. But we now have a dock from Rubenstock. And turtle ships will completely wreck everything that is on water here. Turtle ships are impossible to stop if you have low numbers of Navy. Rubenstock wants these things to open the gate. Watch. See that? No way! No way! No way! Oh my god, dude. Did that really just happen? That was 100 100% intentional. I cannot believe that just happened. The audacity. He realized crossbow is going to kill skirm unless they're elite skirm, and he baited the skirms to opening up the gate, ran right underneath it, and now he gets to harass even more. So imagine being tilted, imagine being frustrated, and then having that happen, and then seeing that Rubenstock is also going to drop a tower on this side. There's towers here, there's vision here for Rubenstock. We'll have a turtle ship pop out, which I think can 1v3 the fires. And poor Red is just backed up into a corner. Red, who is Indians, a civilization that cannot make knights, does have a forward stable. He has no forward docks on Rubenstock, but he must know that Rubenstock is pretty open to this. And Red should still be able to kill this. Granted, Rubenstock is microing like a nerd. Oh, and he's actually going light cap. Interesting. Food eco is super messy for him. He doesn't have any farms yet. He'll need to think about that. And it's very possible he loses all of his fishing ships in a second. And I'm actually a little surprised to see the stables actually making knights. I thought the stable would be there for husbandry for the war wagons. But I guess he figures why not both as the turtles show up. I don't know what you do if you're red now. Okay, TC's fine because you know you're going to lose this one. You obviously leave the shoreline as quickly as possible. You don't have a lot of food income. So making light cap is actually, it's strong. But it has to do damage, I think, as the transport ship drops off the last of the vills. Yeah, turtle ships, man. They pack a punch in low numbers. And also, I've gone on record saying I hate the Koreans. And I'm referring to the Civ, not the people, to be clear. It's the worst Civ to be surrounded by. It is genuinely so infuriating when you're playing against the Koreans in this position. Because turtle ships feel impossible to stop. Guard towers everywhere makes it hard to push. And Red is like, basically needs these light cap to do a lot of damage, I think. And it is possible because Rubenstock's exposed. But I think the second Rubenstock knows, he should be able to go deal with it. And there he goes with his knights. Weird how they're glitching out. Oons, 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 oons. What was that? That was odd. Yeah? I just can't relate to Rubenstock's play as a player. Like the way he plays is so utterly chaotic, but it is also methodical. And how he sees the game. He plays with this game looking like cubes, by the way, in case people don't know. He plays with the cube mod. So he's not even looking at gold. He's looking at a yellow cube, okay? You know, he's just all about control. And as awkward as he can make it for the opponent, the better. And at the same time, though, he has to react to this. He's adding a TC here. He killed a light cav there. Red still has a villager in the north. Still, I guess Red is still kind of in this. I mean, he's got 2 TCs now, and he is protected in the corner, and there's no war wagon pressure. And, oh, he's going to convert the turtle! I like the decision. However, the turtle ship will one-shot the monk. So things to keep an eye on here. Cube mod makes my eyes bleed. That's one of my favorite Age of Empires conversations ever. Was with the Max. And I'm not sure if Max still uses cube mod, to be honest. But back when I had this conversation with him, he was still using it. And hold on. Watch out, Mr. Monk. Rip. And so I asked him, because all the Finns were using it. Since then, Veleza stopped doing it. I think it was just Rubenstock who still does it nowadays. But anyways, as Rubenstock's looking for red, I remember asking Max about it. And Max is a very serious character. He doesn't have a lot of, like, inflection to his voice. It's very serious. Like, so, Max, why do you use cube mod? It looks awful. He's like, yeah, I agree, but one time I didn't see deep fish, and my eco was bad, so I downloaded cube mod. That's exactly what Max said. He's like, yes, it does look bad, but I couldn't see my deep fish once in a game. And that's the reasoning for my loss. So I want to be more efficient. He downloaded the freaking cube mod then. I don't know if he still uses it, to be honest. Look at this, by the way. Look at the outpost. Have you ever seen so many outposts in one series? There's outposts freaking everywhere, man. And to be fair, with how hectic Rubenstock has played, he hasn't done a good job finishing off the game. Here comes some camels. I mean, camels could still kill villagers. They definitely can kill Korean knights. That said, it looks like Rubenstock has the numbers. And Red's going to try and escape out here. Leave his little base and TC that, and something tells me Rubenstock will notice it. Ridiculous. Max still uses cube mod, does he? Okay. I know Velez has stopped. Like, listen, I get wanting to be successful, but I still can't believe that using cube mod actually makes you better. Like, I feel like you just have to... I don't know. Everyone's different, though, right? Everyone's different. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I was about to freak out, but I'm not going to freak out any longer. Because Rubenstock has spotted this, guys. That one outpost saves the day. He sees the Siege Workshop has flags. He must expect that Mo is building up units within his stables and that he's going to go for a ram push. And Rubenstock, who is 36 on food right now, is making quite a few pikemen, and he should be able to defend from this push. No upgrades on the pikes, which is very questionable. But it's not like Red has many upgrades on his stuff either. And Light Cav and Camel is very bad against pikemen. Like, that's the best fight he's going to get. He will actually clear it. Because Rubenstock doesn't have upgrades. But a few villagers fighting and a few more pikemen. And, well, as long as they stop attacking the lumber camp, it should be cleared up. Still, though, I really like Red's pressure. And what Red is doing is he's kind of making Rubenstock react. And if you remember, Rubenstock has always been the one being proactive. So it's not going to work, and it is a waste of resources. But Red, in the meantime, has been able to start taking out this tower, and he's attacking 2 more random Rubenstock vills. He's TC'd this gold. So basically, he's been able to expand and gain a bit of a foothold. And what the... Bro! Okay. This is Rubenstock's point of view. Tell me how you guys think this is going to go. Upon seeing this TC, Rubenstock immediately is sending villagers over here. And now Red sees the vills. This is freaking funny, man. Red sees the vills, and he's like, no, I don't want a castle on my face. And now the knights are kind of out of position, and the knights are going down. Wait a moment. This castle could go up. This series doesn't make any sense, man. Rubenstock sent his pikemen here. He thought Red had a sneak vill, maybe. And so, is it possible that Rubenstock's castle gets denied and Red goes up? No way! Mo-tastic! Mo-tastic is somehow still in this game. Rubenstock has just really failed to commit towards military and finish the guy. He's trying to expand around the whole map like he's Huns or something. But he's Koreans, man. Koreans are a snowball sieve. And so the castle's completely denied. And now Red could just take that gold. And now this TC is going to get shot down. And now Rubenstock's pikemen are pathing underneath the castle because either he misclicked or something crazy happened. And it's 90 population for Mo. It's 99 population for Rubenstock. Who, by the way, had stone to build a castle for like 20 minutes. I think he should have added wagons. Pikeman wagon seems pretty good to me. The Korean snowball is indeed melting, castle. Cvad, welcome back, man. Nice to see Cvad in chat or lurking out there. And okay. I'm a little disappointed we don't see elephant archers. Here comes some camels and light cav. Again, Rubenstock's eco is pretty open. But there are a few pikemen around. And Rubenstock says, well, don't worry, I'll just drop a castle here instead. And that castle goes up. You can't deny this one. You have to accept right now, this will not be denied. You have to give up on it. Do not do this because it'll get so much worse for you. Yeah, good job. Rubenstock has been ahead for a bit, right? I feel like he's given Motastic chances by overextending or not committing. But Rubenstock's still ahead. He still has very strong eco. It might not look like he has as much eco now. But he still is Well, wait a second. Is he? That's his MTC. That's his MTC. What it? Oh! I'm so stressed. And it might be fair to say that I'm more stressed than the players are right now. And the reason they're making these mistakes is because of the stress. He probably cycled through his town centers and just clicked imp or the imp hotkey when he had the freaking resources. But this is at 30% right now. And I feel like it's going to be close. I think he'll still get to imp, but I'm not entirely sure. Meanwhile, Rubenstock, with like no army presence, tries to come in here to drop a tower, which looks absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if this is going to work. Is it going to work? It might work. It might also not work because who knows. And Red abandons it, and it does work. That will be a keep soon, by the way. Red's not going to make it to imp. Red just lost the game. He just lost the game. Unless he repairs it. He has to notice this. Unless he repairs it. That will not go up. Or will not complete. Oh my god. He's got a 20 villager lead too, guys. Like, I know it's looking awkward. And he has no map control. But imp can give you map control. 80%. 85%. Even just 1 or 2 hits with repairing. 90%. 95%. No! And now he's like, damn, I've got a lot of resources. Let's go win this game. No! And he realized immediately after. Ah, God, man. Ah, it's so painful. Why? Ugh. I'm so anxious right now. Give me a second. Give me a second. Make it 5 seconds, actually. I need... Okay. All right, we're good. Red still has the population lead. Rubenstock is making keeps to defend his eco because apparently military doesn't matter in life. He's also getting Yupseong, which we never see. And I forget what that does, but I think that gives the towers range? I think that gives the towers extra range. You rarely see that because, you know, people usually double down and commit on military. But for now, it looks like wagons, and it looks like towers are his play. And I have to say, while it would have still been rough for Red regardless, losing the imp TC probably means that he loses too much position. It would be hilarious if this was his next imp TC. He thought about it a little bit more. But yeah, as he tries to drop a castle here, I feel like he'll lose a ton of ills. It's actually possible this castle will not go up. At least before 10 villagers die. Let's see. Because these keeps have 13 range, so it'll range every vill. But never mind. Rubenstock isn't garrisoning. So I think that one-shots vills. Well, there goes his vill lead. And now Rubenstock knows where to send his trebs. He already has a treb here on this castle. He's got a cab archer he converted over here. Red cannot expand over here because of all the keeps and towers. And yeah, this is going to go to Rubenstock, guys. But I still think Red could have won this game. And Red could still win this freaking series. He still can. Messiest series of the tourney so far. Red calls the GG. After he hits imp. And he says, that was my imp TC. Can't believe it, 11. I can't either, bro. I can't either. And Motastic, I know how I feel. Having watched that, I know how I feel. I can only imagine how you feel. I just want you to know, if you need a shoulder to lean on, okay, we are here, all right? Contact someone in chat. Message me on Discord. We're here for you, okay? That was so horrible to see. Like, think about this for a second. Red, and it might not look like it right now. This is fascinating. Rubenstock just hoarding all these resources. But okay, let's look at this. 36 on food. Red had a really safe farming eco. Is there a world where if Red hits imp at the same time as Rubenstock, where he can just raid Rubenstock with Hussar? I think that is an easy yes. Rubenstock has 4 pikes. Now, you could argue, okay, Rubenstock makes more pikes, gets more upgrades, maybe makes more walls when the raiding starts. But, like, Red had a villager lead when his imp TC went down. And I think that this Trep, for example, would always be sniped. These villagers would never come forward. If he just had light cav and he had the stables, in the Imperial Age, he could have won that game. It was incredible. It was messy. It made you want to look away, but you couldn't because it was like a horrible, horrible car crash, and you had to know what happened. But Rubenstock gets the victory. This is already going to be labeled as the messiest series of the tourney. I can't believe we're looking at this right now and thinking Motastic could actually win. Now, coming back from that is a huge mental hurdle. Like, you know you lost your MTC and you know you were in that game. Losing that one has got to be frustrating. So I'm hoping for Mo, maybe he took a couple minutes before starting the next one. All right, Rubenstock in the blue. By the way, can someone check the bracket and tell me who Rubenstock or Motastic would face in the event that they win this series? Granted, that we might not know the results yet. That might be casted tomorrow, but it would be good to know. All right, Rubenstock in the blue, and he's gone for the Goths here. Goths kill boars faster. It's a very strong bonus in these situations. And Motastic has, been very unfortunate here. And he couldn't find a good TC spot. And that hurts so badly. Ouch. There's a random pond there. That's something we have to take a look at. Like, literally, random pond runs into it. Didn't know. Granted, he does have a scout. And delayed his TC. Rubenstock, in the meantime, will have his TC up faster, which will mean a head start to getting the boars and a head start to creating vills. Valis or Samaro? Oh, really? So, it could be like... I think Valis will win that series. So, we already have Dark and Vinchester facing off, so the two guys from Russia. We could have a little bit of a finish showdown if Rubenstock wins this. In which I think Valis, based on this series, Valis will destroy whoever faces him. Because this has been too messy, but we'll have to see. Now, obviously this start was really poor. You're already down a villager due to that start if you're Mo. But guys, you do have one restart per best of 5. I don't know if restarts were utilized at this stage because we don't cast the restarts for obvious reasons. But because Nomad can have some weird starts at times, we added, unlike any of my other tournaments, we added restarts. Which allows you to take, as Rubenstock is blocking the board, it allows you before 4 minutes to say and then you just play with the same civs on the same map. Now, Rubenstock in the first round blocked so many villagers bringing in boars that he killed 4 villagers from the opponent. So that's something to keep in mind here. 4 villagers, and the game was pretty much over before the 12th minute because the opponent didn't do it back to him and didn't have a way to stop it. And it's honestly very strong. So Motastic needs to make sure that he doesn't lose. Oh, God. Don't lose your horse. Oh, my God. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Oh, my God. And now here comes Rubenstock with a Vill. Oh, my God. Guys. I think Motastic's in trouble. Awful TC spot. But Goths get Loom for free. And they get it in... Or not for free. Sorry. They get it instantly. And... Oh, wait a second. 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 Excuse me. Pardon me. Don't mind me. I'm just going to bring in 3 boars as the Mongols. Wow. Wait, no, they're going back. They're going back. Oh, no. And now Rubenstock's going to wall in his Vill and try and kill them all. Oh, they're all going to aggro on this Vill and he's going to kill them out here. And Goth villagers destroy them so quickly. And rip to the boars, man. The boars are going to go right down. Rubenstock even re-quick walled that. And now all the meat dies. Okay, so let's think about this. Obviously, this sucks. I think you can mill this. That is still like 600 food. I think it makes sense for you to mill that. And I think it also makes sense for you to try and bring in a boar in the middle. Granted, Rubenstock's got his horse. So Rubenstock's still going to probably try and deny that. But as Rubenstock's blocking the boar... feels like this map was made for him, right? He's able to be so frustrating or create so many frustrating situations with the enemy. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, no, it's not fine because it's getting shot by a Goth villager and a regular villager. Holy. Yeah, make a mill, dude. Like, Mo needs to get past this. Rubenstock has had a minute of TC idle time because of this. Make a mill. We have a barracks for Mo, and we have a barracks for Rubenstock. Rubenstock also... wait a second. I have to rewind. Did he forget he was bringing in his own boar? Wait, he lost a villager to a boar. Wait a second. When was this? Okay, I need to see this real quick. Okay, so as he was doing all of this, he forgot about this vill and lost it. So he lost a villager and lamed himself in the middle. Okay, anyways, so he was clearly focused on the front. And he also wasn't creating vills for a bit. So I'm going to fast forward again. Okay. There we go. We're back in business. So at this stage, Mo, he might not know it, and it might not feel like it, but he actually has the villager lead. That's funny, man. Yeah, I think if you have your villager attack a boar with loom, of course, until it's dead, it goes one hit away from death. If you do that, you can never bring in the boar with another villager if you're Goths. But man, losing the scout was the biggest loss here for Red, because he has no way of knowing exactly what Rubenstock's going for. And then he also is going to be terrified to bring in further boars because of that horse being out there. But this is far from pretty from Rubenstock, and both players are going to be making militia. It still does bother me, though, that we didn't see a mill from Red, and clearly he's struggling mentally because he just forgot to make a house as well. Yeah, Castle, I'm with you. If I'm Mo, I'm also thinking I'm way behind. After everything you've seen, that's how you feel. But you also are Mongols, and you also hunt faster. And while it hasn't been efficient, he has brought in, I think, 5 boars this game. Weakens the boar with the TC, which I think is fine. And yep, there you go. Also going to gold back here. Still hasn't made militia yet, which is unique. You can afford 3 militia with Goths off of 50 gold. And now I think the correct move for Mo, as he's doing it, would be to react. And it would be to make your own militia. Here comes Rubenstock with the horse. Blocking away. But should never kill a vill here. Should never. Yeah. Oh, lost the horse. Okay. And we'll lose a vill. Oh my god. I think this is amazing for Mo as he continues to get housed. Oh my god. This series, man. This series is insane. Round of 64. He's going to feudal now. And Rubenstock's not going feudal. However, Rubenstock still has no boars. Rubenstock has no boars. Okay, Red, don't fight yet. No, don't fight. You do not want to engage 2 versus 3. You're going feudal. Don't take this engagement. Go for man-at-arms in the next stage. Again, he doesn't know what we know, but don't be taking fights right now, my friend. He'll find the hunt out here. I think this is going to game 5. I don't know what Rubenstock does from here. He's still making militia, so he's staying in Dark Age. Red, just don't take any engagements and add your own militia right now. Rubenstock has forever Dark Age, people. There's like no food for him to take. He hasn't scouted the back of his base to find any hunt. He's looking for berries or something. And he's going to take the forward berries, but I mean... Offensive pressure with man-at-arms archers could do so much for Red, but he's not making any militia. Personally, I think making militia would be the smartest move, but he still could go archers. And that's probably what he's thinking. Now, we've seen a lot of lamey games on this map, but in Feudal Age is where it really gets crazy. Earlier, we saw a Castle Age all-in. It was Goths versus Berbers. There's still lots of different ways you can play this. It's just Rubenstock literally finds the most annoying strats for every map. And this is perfect for him. Imagine if Red had man-at-arms. Like, he doesn't have a lumber camp, right? So it's not like he can get his wood upgrade. But okay, he's going to go scouts. All right, militia are also attacking this villager here. Probably won't kill the vill, but we'll keep vills off of golds. I'm thinking Rubenstock might TC drop here. Like, it seems insane. God, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. If Rubenstock finds these villagers, he can kill them. Archer opening and or man-at-arm opening would have done so much. Villagers now have to fight off 6 militia. That's so many militia. And here comes 1 scout. That's it. He can't afford anything more. This is his food eco. And Rubenstock will know that now. He'll be like, hey, he doesn't have food. There's no way this guy has food if I'm hitting his berries. So quick walls for Mo, who's just got 1 scout. Oh, it was literally the worst possible build he could have gone for. He has wood and he has gold. The worst build is to try and go for something that costs a lot of food. And also, I think he lost his militia to the TC at the same time. Oh, no. Meanwhile, Rubenstock's back here and he quick walled in a Vil. More militia are on the way. And what will happen here is like, Red's TC idle time is going to be insane if he wants to actually produce scouts, which he needs, right? And the 8 militia counter the 2 scouts. They'll counter maybe even 4 scouts, to be honest, and come back here to finish off this villager. If Rubenstock's walling him in. God, I'd feel so flexed on right now. I would feel so frustrated with myself if this was happening to me. And so flustered, right? And you're going to make poor decisions if that happens. And Mo just... Again, I'll say it. I watched him play the first round against Bro, where he beat a 20 seed guy. He knew Nomad meta, right? He understood what to do in normal Nomad situations. Rubenstock does not allow it to become a normal Nomad situation. But I think we're seeing his level. Like, anyone who's 50 seed, like me, or below, would probably go archers. Now he's doing it, right? But now it's a time issue. Right? Now he's allowed his opponent to do so much. Now he's adding a tower. Like, even the tower doesn't make sense against militia. He's frazzled. He's dazzled. His scouts kill a Vil. There is no world, like, if Valis or Samaro are waiting on the doorstep, if that's even the correct phrase, there is absolutely no world where Rubenstock or Motastic have a chance against those 2 players if they play like they did today. And I mean that to be brutal because it really deserves to be. This has been an entertaining series, but a series that you might have expected in a different round, you know? Holy moly. The tower. Guys, he's just going to wall the villain now. Now what do you do? Oh my god. And the tower's useless now. You literally cannot stop this from going down now. That's really smart from Rubenstock. As long as Rubenstock completes the wall. Let's see. We complete the wall. Yeah. Watch. He'll just complete the wall. And then that villager will batter down the tower. And there's no way you can get your own villager in there to fight it off. 1 archer's here at 20 minutes. Oh, it's so late. It's so late. And I think Rubenstock could do anything on the back of this. He'll obviously go up to feudal. He ends up breaking through to try and kill this villager. Rubenstock could, maybe go into man-at-arms. But honestly feels like he could go fast castle off of this many villagers. 34 villagers working right now. And, oh, God, Mo. That's so painful. All the scouts go down. The archer goes down. Guys, if he goes man-at-arms, he has consistent pressure on Ruben. All he needed was 2 more militia. He's got 4 men-at-arms over here. At worst, Rubenstock comes back with this militia. Like, Rubenstock would have to ever continue taking gold, he would have to. Then you have Archer follow-up. And with the Archer follow-up, as he's still attacking Vils, you just sit behind anything that's walled. So, like, namely, the gold, let's say it's walled. Man-at-arms attack the mining camp. Archers sit here. Everything has to run. Everything dies. Making it seem really simple. This tower was probably the biggest question mark. Even bigger than the scouts. I don't know why you'd make a tower against militia. But that's what we have. Yeah, even just archers. It certainly would have done more. Yeah, certainly would have done more. Because you can, in theory, wall out the militia and still be okay. And I called it, guys. Rubenstock's going to go Blacksmith Market. He's starting to wall up like this is the easiest game of his life. There's been no pressure over here. Those 2 scouts that died, they could have been stopping walls. And Rubenstock Even though he's losing vills, like, he's not, and I don't mean to be rude, he's not playing good. He's really not. He's just playing chaotic, and it's making the opponent make mistakes. But yeah, he'll go up to Castle Age here, and I expect to see a stable. And I think 1 TC all-in Knights completely ends Motastic. Woo! What a ridiculous game. Oh, he's going to Stone now. Well, he could also go all-in Huskarls, which would make sense for the Goths. Also could make some towers if he needs to, if he's mining the stone, so. Okay, well, Rubenstock saw the 2 archers there, so he might be a little concerned. So he'll make an extra layer of palisades and houses. Why not longswords? Well, knights are just so much better than longswords. Against archers. They're more mobile, they have more attack, they have more HP. They're also... It's probably better to have 3 knights than 6 longswords. And I don't know the cost difference, but to get man-at-arms, which he doesn't have, and then also get the longsword upgrade would probably take some time and resources. So I would have liked to see a stable, but he's just going to drop a castle. And, you know, for red, he's trying to use the market here to go up to Castle Age himself. But by the time he's in Castle Age, he's going to be probably up against a castle drop from Rubenstock. But maybe I'm assuming too much. Maybe I'm assuming too much. We see 2 archers go down to the TC, which makes things go from bad to worse for Motastic. Rubenstock, man. Like, this is such a risky play, man. Like, this is such a risky play. He's playing this way because I think he knows he can, but holy. All right, where's he dropped that castle? Right next to the TC. Also, Militia's still fighting over here. They do have armor now. Oh! Oh, they almost got a kill. Okay. Goths are really good on this map if you get to Castle Age, guys. Because most of the civs that are going to go for... that are going to be picked on this map are countered by Goths if it gets to Castle. You have Berbers. They typically go Knights, Camels, just make Pikemen. If they make Camel Archers, make Huskarl. Mongols, similar thing. Like, their best unit's probably the Mangudai, countered by Huskarl. And then Mayans is another one we've seen picked a lot. And Mayans normally are going Eagles or Archers, which is very good, are very poor against Huskarls. Now, that said, like, I would still prefer Berbers over Goths on this map, personally. Because I feel like Knight, Camel, Archer can, in theory, counter Pikeman, Huskarl, and it's harder to get to Huskarl. Anyways, we're not going to go down that road right now. But that's currently my thought on it. Yeah. I think the big reason to pick Goths, we already saw, was with the boars and taking all that hunt. Yeah, Huskarls have 10 base attack, and archers will do 1 damage a hit, and this unit's got 60 HP. So you need 60 archers to be able to one-shot a Huskarl. Not to mention they can run underneath TCs. And Rubenstock, if he wants to, he could just boom behind this, right? He could add TCs. And I struggle to see what you can do now. Like, he's going to go Knights. Or maybe Step Lancers, actually. I feel like Step Lancers would maybe be good. He's going to try and hold on here. Adds the TC. Good quick walling. Could maybe get a TC over here to protect this, because that's where Rubenstock might come next. And never mind. Okay, he's going for the Knights. Oh, God. I love Rubenstock so much, says Bew, and someone earlier was like, I really don't like Rubenstock. It's a bit like Force Nothing, right? Some people love Force Nothing, and they think it's the best map. Or it's at least really fun. Some people think it's awful. Opinions will differ. That said, though, Red is still in this game. Red is still in this game. He's looking in a better position than I thought he would. And we're going to see Archers and Knights maybe hold off the Huskarls for the time being. Good micro from Red, attacking with just 2 Knights for now. He really needed to get upgrades on them. He doesn't have any upgrades. He also only has a few of them. I think the worry comes in when Goths are fully boomed. We don't see a fully boomed Rubenstock yet. Still 1 TC. Obviously, though, the Archers should basically not exist in these fights. The Archers are very weak. Let's see. So Crossbow would do 7 damage if you got full ups. And yeah, Huskarls have 7 pierce armor. There's actually no reason to really get the next armor upgrade if you're Goths. If the main thing you're up against is archers, there's no reason. Also, Rubenstock converted a vill and is now fighting within the walls with said villager. And he's got monks now. So if you want to take care of the Huskarls, what you need to have is the knights. And if you send the knights out, you've got to deal with the monks. And then you're just donating military over to Rubenstock. I just don't... Motastic still definitely has a chance in this game. But with no ability to really counterattack right now, it's really hard for me to see how this situation changes. That one monk, that monk gets a conversion. The next monk could get a conversion as well. He has to run away, but he does have eco on this side. He does have eco back here as well. It's really tough to decide on what to go for next if you're red. He doesn't have stone for a castle. Looks like he wants to TC there. No stone for a castle. I think he doesn't have the food income to be able to make knights consistently because he's producing vills out of all of his TCs. Skarls are underneath the TC. Idle time's insane. Villagers have to run away now. Back to this town center. They'll probably be idle then. I feel like he'll have the vill count. And the vill count will be solid. Oh, nice job. Snipe the monk. But I don't think the vills will actually be working efficiently here. Not to mention some of the eco upgrades he's missing right now. Light cav. Can't really justify light cav here, Chubby. Like, it's tough. Any melee unit and monk is really hard to combat unless you have your own monks. He's at 6 on food, and the light cav upgrade is, I think, 150 food. And Rubenstock's got a unit that he can just engage with underneath town centers. And then you add the light cav, which is obviously pretty expensive to get to. And you kill the monks. Oh, you don't kill the monks. Okay. That was a pretty long conversion there. Ah, scorpions. Like, the way to go for this is Knight Monk. Knight Monk is what you need, right? Knight Monk is better than Huskarl Monk. But it's just all about numbers right now. He's going to add more monasteries to try and recover. But, again, it comes back to, like, there's many situations with Goths, as Red's going to try and drop a castle to keep himself in this. There's many situations with Goths where it's not necessarily what you do in mid-game. It's what you did earlier. And this is clearly a situation where Motastic could have taken a bigger lead against Goths. Quite simply, if Goths are set left untouched, they are one of the best civilizations in the game. This is the perfect spot for them. Here you have Rubenstock. He's going to switch his conversions a lot to try and stop the villagers from building the castle. But the castle goes up. I think Rubenstock will need to run away. But 1 TC for Rubenstock. And he's still at 50 villagers. And you look at the worker efficiency last minute, 75%. And then, of course, for Red, he's had idle time. And he's just constantly being pressured here. But he didn't lose too many vills there. It's still 54 vills versus 51. And here he goes in and, oh, donates another knight to Rubenstock. The benefit of going 1 TC as well is that the only thing you're focusing on is creating vills and military. You're not, like, cycling through town centers. Like, now Rubenstock adds a TC in the corner. But for Red, in order for him to justify the TCs, he has to constantly add eco. And so what that leads to is it's tougher for you to pay attention to the small things like eco balance and pay attention to the military. Like here, going for conversion and a Huskarl swoops in. Rubenstock can pay attention to that stuff. And Rubenstock is going for the town center. Goth infantry does destroy buildings fast, but I didn't think it was quite that fast. And he says, screw your TCs. I'll take your TCs and I'll take the villagers with me. And I think for Mo, he's starting to come to the realization that this might be the end for him. Keep in mind, Rubenstock has only been producing from his castle. He hasn't been producing out of barracks. Light cav might pay off there. There you go. In the end, the light cav goes down, though. And yeah, I just don't know what you make at this point. Anarchy's fairly expensive. It's 450 food and 300 gold. So it's probably better for Rubenstock to just keep his castle producing and invest into the second TC from here. Just a classic case of all-in 1 TC aggression, punishing the boom. And with Goths, it's the way to do it, I think. I mean, there was an argument for booming too, honestly, because Red didn't have very much offensively. He could have just added the castle and kind of faked like he was going to all-in. But well played here. Choo-choo! Red house walls. Those are Rubenstock's palisade walls, so he should probably delete them. There he goes. Deletes the palisade walls and says, I'll just take care of your houses, thank you. And whoop! He's going to pop right out. Whoop! Surprise! Yep. Too little, too late for Mo. But honestly, what an exciting tournament for him. He was never supposed to make it to the second round, and I say that with no disrespect because he was up against a big player in Bra. And so he toppled him, took him out. Again, he's trying. I mean, he's getting fletching now. He's making Mangadai. He's doing what he can, but I just don't see this eco being efficient. If Rubenstock knew about this, it would have been GG already. He just doesn't know about this. But even this, it feels like will end up going down. Yeah. He's going to learn lessons. I feel like the reason Mo was able to get a win against Bro and was able to get a win against Ruben is because he doesn't play a lot of standard 1v1 games. He plays a lot of Nomad, and he plays a lot of Black Forest. And I feel like this skill set that he has there and the experience there helped him get the win against Rubenstock. But also, the fact that he doesn't play... Wow, these Rams are trapped. They can't ram the castle. They're trapped. But also, I feel like the reason he lost this game is because he's not experienced on those other maps. I feel like that's a pretty good way of saying it. Because everything about this game screamed to do the opposite of what he did when he did it earlier. And he just didn't know. He just doesn't experience those situations as much. Because a very meta 1v1 thing is... as he still stays in this game. Holy crap. A very meta 1v1 thing is Man-at-Arm Archer. And I think a pretty well-known thing for the high-level players in these maps is the Scout Rush doesn't work too well because you don't have your starting Scout. So there's pros and cons. But finally, Anarchy in for Rubenstock, who's got 2 town centers now and still has the military lead. Didn't take out the castle, but it doesn't look like he's going to give up on that. He thinks right now that this is all of Red's eco. He really should look, because with Red's score being so high, he should send something's up. But that's what he thinks. And so he's going to be able to produce his Huskarls from his barracks now, which will lead to double or triple the production. You would go scouts on Nomad, to be fair? Not necessarily, though. Like you would never go scouts in that situation on Nomad, unless you're also going towers. Not based on the games we've seen. You go like water control. Nomad's a little different, right? Okay, Mangadai now raiding. It's possible Rubenstock doesn't notice this. He does notice this. Okay. This light cap gets dealt with. Immediately Huskarls go this way to track this down. By the way, Rubenstock sees all the map except for this. Okay, now he's building outposts. Now he knows. And here he comes. And like, Rubenstock continues to try and ram push this guy who's stuck in the corner. You don't need to do this if you're Rubenstock, just to be clear. If anything, it's a way to throw a lead. But I still have confidence in the guy, as he's going to have so many Huskarls. The Mangadai all died to the town center there. I think we're about to see some pressure over in this area. Obviously, if the castle goes down, it is GG. 74 vills for the stock. 58 vills for Motastic. And it's kind of felt like this game has been over for a bit here. But again, he can hop out of the castle. He can take out the Rams. He can use the Mangonel against the next Ram. And he can hop back in the castle. And they can repeat this cycle until Rubenstock finally gives up on trying to go for this area and goes over here. Which he now sees. He doesn't see all of it, but he sees some of it. Worker efficiency is so low for Red, I bet. 48% or 75% for Rubenstock. Rubenstock has already won, so he's going for his mental health. Maybe. Maybe. Yep, you're right. He's going to TC this guy's town center. And he could steal the farms, too. Rubenstock does that a lot. This TC should go down. His castle's over here. Like, I wouldn't even go for Rams, honestly. Just calm down for a sec if you're Rubenstock. Get to 110 vills, and they just use Huskarls to take out the castles. Rams seem pretty ineffective at this stage. Yep, 1 villager TC right here. And he will populate the earth in Red's town, and he will steal the farms if Red doesn't delete them. I think Red should probably be calling it soon, but it's his last game of the tourney, so he wants to make sure that he continues to fight on. Mods, can we please take care of Bo? This is unnecessary BM by Ruben shit. What do you think's more unnecessary? Calling a player who's winning a tournament game, and who's a high-level player that I'm casting, Ruben shit, or building a town center in a forward position? What do you think's more unnecessary there? I'll let you think about that. Rubenstock's played this game messy, but that's exactly what he likes to do. That's exactly the player he is. He's got barracks everywhere. He's got vision everywhere. Now his economy is a work of art. 36 farms at this point. He'll secure this golds. And yeah, again, I don't really think you need the Rams for the castles at this stage. And the KD is pretty kind to Red because Rubenstock's been throwing so much away. But I think for a while here, Rubenstock could have just fell back and gone in. So there's not a big difference between regular Huskarl and Elite Huskarl, so I think Alden Castle Age is normally how I would play it. Yep, stealing the farms. All right. Oh, and he's giving people sass as well? Okay. Well, I think Red sees this. Red says 11, very nice, well played GL next. And we have to give our salutes out to Red. Again, he beat Bruh. He never was expected to beat Bruh. I didn't put him on the list to cast that set because I figured he would have got stomped. He stomped Bruh. He surprised a high-level player. And then here, I think it's fair to say he had a chance. Where the mod's at? Oh, don't worry about it. I get to ban people by myself on rare occasion. Okay. And we might not do a ban, right? We might not do a ban. We might just do a timeout so you could sit there and think about what he's done. But back to the game here. I think Red could have won the houseboat game. Super unfortunate losing that TC. And if you won that houseboat game and lost this game, granted, he could have won this as well. Let's just say he didn't. Then we'd be going to a game 5. And we'd be going to a game 5 that would very much be exciting. Rubenstock moves on. And from what I've heard, the winner of Valis and Samara will play Rubenstock. And I feel like I know Rubenstock recently returned to the game. So he might be a bit rusty. And that also, you know, has maybe shown itself in these games. But I think he's going to have to step up his level a little bit in the next round. Because best of 5 and a round of 32 is going to be super tricky. Good news is, and I didn't talk about this at all today, is if you advance to the round of 32 in this tourney, you do get some prize pool. I don't know the exact amount, but something that's been weighing on my heart, and I've always done this for all my events, is I want the players who might not make it into the top 16 or the top like 20 every time to be able to get prize pool. Time is money, money is time. To get to this level of Age of Empires, you need to play a long time. And I just want more of these guys to be able to get some dough, you know, make some money, pay some bills, buy some new equipment, motivate themselves. And so for this tourney, all of the round of 32 does cash, but I think it's considerable amount. I think it's like $200 or $300 even if they lose the next round. But I'll have to give those figures next time I cast. I actually forget.